Hey, what is up, guys? It's been a while, but we're back for episode 8 of the 1 gold to 5k flipping challenge. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded as consistently as I would have liked. Just as usual, been pretty busy, especially with the holidays coming up. But hopefully in the coming weeks, I'll be able to pump out a few more episodes for you guys. With that said, for those who are new to the series, the rules are on screen as per usual. Just to recap from last time, we ended episode 7 with about 3.2k of listed auctions, and we also had around 3,000 gold in our bags and roughly 1,000 gold of unlisted auctions. Most of that is just all of our mana potions that we had crafted at the end of last episode. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Alright, so for today, we're going to actually start off the episode by signing a guild charter. I know there were some mixed feelings regarding the guild charters since they aren't really an auction house flip, but we're already pretty far into the flipping series that it's really just a drop in the ocean, so I'll allow it. In terms of our sold auctions from last night, we have a measly 31 gold in our first batch of auctions. It looks like a bunch of our enchanting materials did not sell yet, but remember guys, no deposit costs on enchanting mats, so it's really not a big deal. The only item that sold was our golden pearl. We didn't make any huge gains on that one, only about 5 gold or so. For our second batch of auctions, we have 287 gold. A bunch of our scrolls of protection 5 sold, which is really nice. We also got a few void crystals that sold off for roughly 5 gold each, and another golden pearl. And lastly, for our last few auctions, we got 67 gold, just a few more void crystals, and we also sold off all of our Sun Fury signets for a decent profit too. Okay guys, so everything is listed on the auction house. We did not list any mana pots just because we'll wait until Tuesday to hopefully be able to snag a better price on these ones. But what I want to do today is actually take a look at the level 70 BOE market. I really haven't bought any epic BOE items to flip, but I've been meaning to test it out. Someone in the comments had mentioned that it was pretty lucrative for them, so I've been scanning some BOEs and I think we'll go ahead and test out the waters with this one. The Terox Wisdom is going for well under the next listed auction at 400 gold. And TSM says it sells for about 300 gold on average. So I'm thinking even if it takes like a week to sell, we could potentially make some nice gold off this piece. I also bought an Eternium bar because it was listed for 1 gold cheaper than the average price. Probably a mistake on their part, but it's 1 gold for free. And I'll go ahead and try to corner the market a bit here. This is a great example of when you could possibly do it. We kind of have to hope this doesn't backfire, but Primal Mites are gated by their cooldown, which is only 1 day unfortunately, but there's really not a lot up here. So I think if we're not too greedy and just relist it at 73 gold, we could probably sell them for a good 15 gold profit or so on each one. And lastly, for today, we'll actually go ahead and buy some more Fellweed and Dreaming Glories. I know this might be a bit boring, but here's my thought process. We already have a lot of mana pots, but with that said, the prices of the herbs are still pretty cheap. And if we're the ones buying them out and pushing them back up at a higher price, that means it's less competition for when people sell mana potions. And so that should also mean higher prices for us. So I went ahead and bought out a bunch more herbs, and we found someone who crafted all 250 mana potions for us, and we ended up giving him a 30 gold tip, which he was quite pleased with. So these are what the auctions are looking like. I actually ended up listing a few mana potions because we honestly ran out of bag space and bank space, so we kind of had no choice to list some up here. But it's okay, even under 2 gold each, which is the price we listed them at, we're still profiting around 50 silver per potion, so I'm not too worried. So we're really looking good so far. I'm just looking forward to getting rid of most of these mana pots just to get some room back, but that'll probably be in a few days, so I'll leave these in and update you guys tomorrow. Alright, so it's the following day. For our first batch, we don't have any sales. A lot of our mana pots came back, kind of as expected, since Sunday usually really isn't a busy day for consumables. Unfortunately, we also got our Spell Strike pants and our BOE item back as well. So maybe it'll take a bit longer to sell those, but that'll be some nice cash that we can free up when they do actually sell. For our second batch, we have 29 gold of sales. Again, a lot of our enchanting mats didn't sell, but we did sell a few stacks of mana pots, which is nice because it'll free some back space. And lastly, for our last final batch of auctions, we got around 300 gold. Most of that is again mana pots, so we are slowly selling them. And we also sold our last pattern of the Veiled Flame Spessrite. We had bought 3 of those, I believe, a few episodes back. Not the greatest flip in terms of turnaround, but we did get roughly 20 gold or so on each one of those, so not too bad. Alright, so I'll put back our items up. I'll also leave some mana pots in the mail just to save some backspace for now and see if we can maybe find some good deals today. Perfect, guys. So today we'll go ahead and buy this stack of ice caps. Someone had mentioned in my previous videos to look at the high-end classic herbs like this one, and it is going for about half of its market value, so we should be able to make 10 gold or so on this. We'll also go ahead and buy some true silver ore. This one seems to be underpriced, and I think I can relist everything at 35 silver and make a decent profit on this item as well. And we'll go back to our bread and butter now and pick some motes of life. Like, this is pretty ridiculous. I'm not sure if it's an abundance of bots or like gold farmers or what, but motes of life at under 15 silver each, while the primal version is going for well over 3.5 gold. So we can definitely make some money here quite easily. 2 days ago, we also sold all of our scrolls of protection, so I'll go ahead and buy a few more. I would have probably stayed away from this, but since there's 2 stacks at 4 gold and the next highest is 5.5 gold, I think we can abuse that price gap to make around 10 to 15 gold on the lot. And lastly, I'll go ahead and buy some adamantite ore. This time we won't prospect them since there's not really enough at a cheap price to make it worth it, but on my server typically gem prices increase on Tuesdays and Wednesdays when people get new gear. So in turn, adamantite ore also increases since then people will want to prospect the ore to get some of those gems that they can sell at a higher price. So it's all kind of interconnected, so hopefully this is actually what will happen. And if not, I mean, we could probably sell them back for break even. Alright guys, so this is what we're looking at for the auctions for the day. So we got a good amount of stock up here, and we haven't really listed most of our mana pots so far, so quite a bit of gold still to be made. I'll leave this in overnight, and hopefully tomorrow we can start selling a bulk of these mana pots to make some space for other items. Hey guys, actually just a quick update. This is still Monday, but later in the afternoon, I actually noticed a bunch of my mana pots sold and the price looked really good. So I figured I'll hop on for 5 minutes or so, and I just went ahead and posted a bunch of mana pots. I took some from the bank as well, so I'm hoping a big chunk of this sells because we'd be making well over 1 gold each on these potions. So anyways, I'll leave these in overnight and check back tomorrow. Okay, so this is pretty late on Tuesday. Unfortunately, I was really busy today at work, so I didn't even have time to hop on during my lunch break. But before I open any auctions, I'll actually go ahead and post a bunch more mana potions, since our old ones either expired or sold, and right now it's prime time where a lot of people could be buying mana potions. So I don't want to miss out on any potential buyers, so I'll list these first. And while we're at it, I just wanted to show you guys, it looks like I was correct in my adamantite ore prediction. The price went up roughly 20 to 30 silver each. We'll actually be a bit greedy here since there's not a lot of auctions, and list our ores at 2 gold each and see if they get bought out throughout the evening. Now for our first batch of auctions, we have a lot of stuff coming back. Most of it is the mana potions, but we did have a lot of our scrolls of protection and some true silver ore that did not sell yet. Sorry about the recording here. I should have scrolled down to show you guys all the items, but I was a bit in a rush since raid was starting soon, so I apologize for the scuffed recording here. For our second batch of auctions, we did sell a few scrolls of spirit. Unfortunately, a lot of our void crystals and other enchanting mats still haven't sold, but that's not a huge worry. I think right now we'll just try and dump our mana potions since it seems the price really dropped quite a bit compared to last night. And some pretty good news on our last batch of auctions, we have pretty much 1,000 gold in this one. We sold a bunch of mana potions, we also sold a few void crystals for 7 gold each, which is really good. We also sold our primal lives, which we made like 2 gold each on those, and we sold a few primal mites as well for maybe 5 to 10 gold or so on each. So just quickly before I head to my raid, these are all the auctions. We have over 4,000 gold of listed items. So hopefully tonight is a busy day for us and we get some sales. As usual, I'll check back tomorrow morning and see how we did. Alright, so for our first auctions, we have 55 gold of sold items. It's just all of our scrolls of protection. We didn't make as much as we'd hoped for on this item, but we still made about 1 gold on each, so that's not too bad. We still have our Terox Wisdom and Spell Strike Pants as well as some Void Crystals in here that haven't sold yet. And also our damn cloaks. It's a bit crazy how well we were selling the cloaks of Arcane Evasion and how all of a sudden they really haven't sold at all for maybe like the last 2 weeks now. I guess that's kind of what happens when raids become pretty much on farm for everyone. But anyways, for our second batch of auctions, we have a respectable 550 gold here. I think I was a bit greedy on the adamantite ore since it doesn't seem they sold, but that's okay. We'll try to just get rid of them today. We did sell a few more void crystals here for about 6.5 gold each. A bit less than yesterday, but still pretty solid considering we bought these for 4 gold each. And finally, we got rid of one of our cloaks of White Remedy. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I broke even on this, or maybe even lost a few gold if you factor in the tip I paid to craft these. But that's okay, we have to test items to actually find out if they work or not. I think this would have maybe been a good item, but the timing wasn't right. Maybe if I had tried it out at the start of the series when it was a bit more relevant, we'd have done a lot better on this. But anyways, our last batch of auctions, we have 500 gold. I scuffed the recording again here, but we did sell the rest of our primal lives, some large brilliant shards, and a big portion of it was a lot of mana potion sales as well. In terms of our new items for the day, we'll go ahead and test out the BOE market a little bit more. I know we haven't had any luck selling our Terox Wisdom yet, but these two items seem really underpriced. So I'll give it a shot. I'm pretty sure the Crystal Hide hand wraps should sell for maybe like 50 to 100 gold, and the True Strike ring for maybe 100 to 200 gold. Next item that has really done well for us so far is the Marks of Sargeras. We'll go ahead and actually be a bit greedy and buy everything up to 85 silver this time and try to relist it there. And we've been doing a lot of the same alchemy flips with the mana potions. Today I wanted to test out a similar one, but one that would have probably higher margins. So we'll go ahead and buy some Black Lotus and have someone convert these into flasks of Distilled Wisdom. Not too many people bother crafting this item since it's a bit of a slower seller, but usually you should expect margins of anywhere between 10 to 25 gold or so on each flask, and that's not including any procs on them since they can also get procs if you have an Elixir Master. So let's test it out. So we went ahead and relisted everything. We also found an Elixir Master. He crafted us all 15 flasks and he only got 1 proc, unfortunately. I was kind of expecting 2 or 3, but anyways, that's better than nothing. We tipped him 15 gold and these are all of our auctions so far. Right now, I'm not going to try and do anything too crazy since I did some rough math, and if we sell everything off at its current values, we'd be looking at roughly 8k gold. So we're really close to that 10k mark, guys. So let's keep grinding and see where we can get by the end of this episode. Alright, so it's Wednesday evening. I hopped on and posted some mana potions in the hopes of selling them off today. And we actually scanned for about 5 to 10 minutes or so, and we fell upon the Sun Fury Signets. We'll go ahead and buy these since there's quite a few at a cheap price, and we'll relist them at around 50 silver each or so. So I went ahead and collected all of those signets, but I actually totally forgot we had a lot of sold auctions that was also in this mailbox. I just kind of pressed open all mail out of habit, but anyways, just so you guys know, we sold almost 600 gold worth of items. Most of it was mana potions. We also sold a few large brilliant shards for almost 5.5 gold each, which is about 2 gold profit on each shard. And we sold some scrolls of spirit for like 7 gold each, which is pretty crazy. But the big one was actually the Crystal Hide hand wraps. I went ahead and relisted them at around 50 gold, and they sold same day. Remember guys, this item was purchased earlier for only 10 gold, so that's a really nice ROI and really quick turnaround too. And while I'm here, I might as well collect the rest of our gold that's sold. We got 760 gold in these 85 auctions. Pretty much all of our Marks of Sargeras sold, a few true silver ores, some arcane dust, and some void crystals, so pretty nice variety of items. Now, since we're here, we might as well buy a few more items. I'll pick up a few scrolls of protection since there's a nice price gap and they seem pretty cheap right now. And I'll also gamble on these light feathers. This may be a really dumb idea, but a lot of guilds have started just simply skipping the trash before hydros and slow falling down with water walking to actually go straight to lurker. So my reasoning is that some people may buy the light feathers to slow fall rather than use like noggin foggers or something. So anyways, I'll try and reset the market on these to 75 silver each. And if it doesn't work, we can just sell the feathers for break even or maybe a small profit over time. Good afternoon, guys. It's a bit later than I typically look at my auctions, but I was pretty busy today again. So for our first batch of auctions, we got already 72 gold, so not too bad. It does seem that the small gamble we took on those light feathers didn't really pan out. So I mean, I think the idea was there, just probably not really enough demand for an item that's so easily farmed. We also didn't really sell that much Sunfury Signets, which isn't a big deal. I think we can get them sold probably today. And also, it doesn't look like we sold any flasks. I'm kind of hoping to get some flasks sold since right now we're looking at margins of over 30 gold each. So that'd be some nice profit, but we'll see how that pans out. For our second batch of auctions, we got 443 gold. A lot of the same items, it looks like. We sold all of our mana pots and some scrolls of protection for about 1 gold profit on each. So pretty much everything is relisted, and we decided to double down on our Sunfury Signets. Now, I normally wouldn't do this. If you see a flip is going sideways, doubling down might just mean you'll lose even more gold. But for this specific item, I'm pretty confident it'll sell for about 50 silver, since that's pretty much what we've been selling it for this entire series. And on top of that, there's always an abundance of alts that will need these for rep, so I'm not too worried. We'll try and squeeze even more money out of it. Next item is the rough stones, a pretty boring one, I know, but if it's under 1 silver each, it's kind of hard to ignore. We'll go ahead and make some gold off this. We'll buy some true silver ore as well. They sold quite easily a few days ago, so I might as well reset this again. And as you guys know, whenever I see some arcane dust at around 1 gold each, we're definitely gonna buy that. So this is what it looks like for today. We already sold pretty much all of our adamantite ore for around 1.4 gold each. So we're making 2 gold per stack on these. And we still have about 3.6k of listed items. We do have like 4k sitting in our bags. I will try and get that invested and working for us in the coming days. I just didn't really have much time to scan many items, and we're getting really close to completing the challenge, so I wouldn't really want to mess it up by just buying random items for the sake of buying them. So with that said, we'll check back tomorrow with hopefully a lot more sales. Okay, so for today, our first auctions, we have no sales. Most of it is the Sunfury Signets, some Arcane Dust, and some Light Feathers in here. For our second batch of auctions, we got around 400 gold of sales. As you guys saw yesterday, I think most of it is the adamantite ore that's sold. We still have our True Strike Ring and Terox Wisdom to sell off. And yeah, so we did actually sell a few True Silver ore, a stack of Light Feathers, and a few single Arcane Dusts. So nothing huge, but slowly selling off our items. Now for today, we'll go ahead and mimic what we did yesterday. We'll buy some more Sunfury Signets. It's a bit scary since we have close to 750 now that we still need to sell off, but usually people buy these in bulk, so it's not too bad. I'll actually also pick up this pattern for the Solid Star Valoon. Remember a few episodes back, we actually sold this exact same pattern for 550 gold. So I think 200 gold is a pretty good price to pick this up at. Now, I don't necessarily think we'll sell it for as much as we did last time, since there's still 2 other patterns up here that are going for 350 and 425. But if we can maybe get like 100 gold on this, I'd be pretty happy with that. I'll also go a little bit out of the box and pick up these 4 Ethereum prison keys. They are well undervalued, and there's no others up here other than the typical scam auction at 711 gold. So I think we could maybe fetch like 5 to 10 gold on each of these keys. And lastly, I'll go ahead and buy some more Arcane Dust since they are still going for a really good price. However, what I'll do is I'll actually diversify a little bit and convert these Arcane Dusts into superior Wizard Oils. Typically, most casters will actually use the old classic Wizard Oils since they are slightly better than the superior ones. But classes like Shadow Priests or Prot Paladins will definitely use these. And they do have a pretty decent margin, maybe like 2 to 3 gold on each oil that we will craft. So I'll go ahead and grab some Nightmare Vines as well as find an enchanter to get these crafted. Okay guys, so I went ahead and had 35 oils crafted for us, and we tipped the enchanter 10 gold for the craft. And with everything up here, we have 4,100 gold of listed items and 3,900 gold in our bags. Plus we have around 500 gold of items not yet listed, like a bunch of oils and flasks that we just don't want to flood the market with. So assuming our items sell for the price they do, I'd expect maybe 1 or 2 more episodes until we get this challenge wrapped up. So I'm really pleased. In regards to what we do with the gold, a lot, and I mean a lot of you guys seem to want me to carry on and keep it going to 100k or even beyond. And while I really like that idea, there's a few reasons why I won't be doing that, at least not in the near future. The first and biggest reason is that my server, which is Earth Fury, has been slowly dwindling in population. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate as well, since more guilds are falling apart and you have the whole mess where Blizzard doesn't really want to address any server balances. So I wouldn't really want to keep the series going with the mindset that in a month or two I might need a server transfer. I just think it would make for a really weird and awkward series with the price jump from server transfers and so on. The second reason is that I think beyond 10,000 gold, there's really not much more that you could do. The type of content would kind of be the same, and we'd probably rehash the same items. I think even you guys might see it at this point where we're often looking at the same items to flip. So, with that said, I don't want to continue the series and make it too bland. I think the 10k mark is more than enough to show you guys that you can do this, whether to 2,000 gold, 5,000 gold, 10k gold, or even beyond, and we'd expect the same results. However, with all that said, I did really like the idea from this user who suggested to actually distribute the gold to the people who helped me craft the items along the way. I think this is a pretty good idea that will hopefully make a few people happy, and hopefully most of these people still actively play on my server, and if they do, we'll make sure to get them that split of the 10k. So, anyways, enough rambling. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you guys haven't seen my road to 5K on the Season of Mastery realms, make sure to go check that out, since we'll be doing a lot of similar things on there as well. And make sure to leave a like on the video if you're enjoying the series so far. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.